This is a recursive formula, and I've showed you how to do this by hand, but I also want to show you how to do this on your calculator. And so we've got this. So we're told a sub 1 is, and then our formula, and we see we're defined recursively. So then this first one is going to be, just so we can kind of see what's happening and we understand what's going on here. This first equation then would be, a sub 2 would be 3 times a sub 1 plus 2, or 3 times 5 plus 2, or 17. But we can actually do this on our calculator as well. So to do this, you are first going to change your mode. You're going to go into mode, and you want to go over to sequence. So you can see here we're in function. Make sure, by the way, after you're done with this, you change back to function. We want to be over here in sequence. So I'm going to enter. Okay. Now, when I click y equals, like I'm going to go to graph, it's going to look like this. Okay. As a reminder, if you've been using stat plot, make sure they're off. Okay. So I'm going to first put in here, this up here should be where you want to start. So in this case, this, n minus 2, so this is a 2. This is what your lowest value n is. And you can see that's the funny looking n, okay? So that's whatever this is your top one. Then this u of n, u of n, this is this formula. So this is going to be 3. And then you're going to put in u, which you're going to use second 7, and there's a little u in the corner. If you look at the 7, okay, you want second 7. That's going to give you the u. And then you're going to do parenthesis. You're going to use this button, which now, since you're in this, is going to give you the funny n minus 1, okay, because you want n minus 1. And then, so this is 3 times this term. This is telling you to do, what I just put in, okay? So we needed to put in a n sub 1. This looks like u n minus 1. That's this term here. And then, so my final thing is I'm going to do plus 2, okay? Then on this one, this next one down here, this I'm going to put in this, okay? This is your bottom, and then if this was only going to a certain point, you could put in a max like this. But so this is what you can see here. This would be the next function if I wanted a second one. So all 3 of these, all 3 is one input, okay? So you need where you start. So this is telling you what the limits are. I'm starting from 2 and going forward. You need the function itself, and then you need the starting initial condition. Okay, I'm going to erase this so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, and those are those 3. This here now, we're in V's now. This would be a whole new section. You can graph it. If you go to graph, you can see here, there's the start of the exponential. If you go to zoom fit, sometimes it'll usually look a little bit better, but it will graph it. You can see there that exponential look, and it's going up. But the best way to get the values, I mean, obviously you can, do a scan here. You can use the trace button to look for them. So if I go up, you can see right here with the trace button, I'm getting the values. 4, n sub 4 is 53, but it's actually easier to look at the table. If you go to second graph and table right here, this is the values. So right here is the n sub 3, so that's this right here, okay? This is actually, yeah, so you can see right here, these are giving you all your values, okay? So, yeah. But anyways, you might have to kind of pay attention to how you define these if you want them to look exactly right. But anyways, you can see right there, there's our 2. There's probably a way you can get this to be 1. But anyways, you can see right there's your value. There's a 5, 17, 53, 161. And if you look in the book, this is actually example 2 out of the book. You can see these match up exactly. So if I did the next one, I would get that. You can see I matched there. So that's how you do this. Obviously, then once you're done, make sure you go back and you put yourself back into function mode. Before you go try to do anything else, you'll be wondering why it's not working properly. So just a heads up there. But this is how you put in, so you want the sequence here, and you can then put in the recursive formulas. You're going to do it through the graph function, so it's a little bit differently than some of the other ones we were looking at, but it will do it for you. Even give you a pretty graph if you want to see that graph.